What is love? What is proper self love and respect? What do wooden spoons, black noodles, and mass weddings have in common? They're all part of the diverse and fascinating ways that people celebrate Valentine's Day around the world. But what about the love that is not romantic but familial? The love that binds brothers and sisters, cousins and friends through thick and thin. How do different cultures express and honor their brotherly love on this special day? Hello, and welcome to Truth Talk. Happy Valentine's Day, and welcome to the Brotherly Love podcast, where we'll explore the unique and universal bond of love, brotherhood, matrimony, and siblinghood. I'm your host, Lindsay, and in this episode, we're going to take you on a journey across the globe and discover how different countries and cultures celebrate Valentine's Day with their loved ones and their brothers and sisters on the planet. We'll also share some of our own stories and some experiences that has come with growing up over the years. And we'll take a look at what is said in ancient religious texts, such as the Bible, about love and brotherhood. So whether you have siblings or not, whether you have a loved one or not, whether you have a sweetheart that you're buying a card for or chocolate or flowers for, I hope you'll enjoy this episode and learn something new about the world and yourself. So now, if you're in a quiet, comfortable place, maybe sipping on your favorite beverage, maybe lying down comfortably on your bed, or sitting back in your most favorite chair. But be safe, and remember, never listen to a hypnotic podcast in a vehicle. So take in a deep and slow breath in through your nose. Fill your belly, your rib cage, and your chest. And then exhale through your mouth. Let your chest go down. And then your rib cage go down. And let your belly go flat. Inhale again. Fill up your belly, your rib cage, your chest. Exhale slowly through your mouth. Let your chest go down, your rib cage go down, and your belly go flat. one more time. Inhale, fill up your belly, let it stick out there like a little pregnant toad. Stick it out. In your rib cage, in your chest. And then as you exhale, like you're fogging up a mirror, chest goes down, rib cage goes down, and your belly goes flat. Now, sit back and relax and enjoy the Valentine's Day Brotherly Love podcast. Valentine's Day is a celebration of romantic love that dates back to the Middle Ages, when people exchanged flowers, cards, and gifts with their beloved ones. Now, the origin of this holiday is unclear, but some legends link it to Saint Valentine, a Christian martyr who was executed by the Roman Emperor Claudius II for performing secret marriages or helping imprisoned Christians. Now, the tradition of giving chocolate as a Valentine's Day gift is more recent, and it started in the 19th century when the British chocolate maker named Richard Cadbury invented a new way of making chocolate and decided to sell it in heart-shaped boxes that he designed himself. He also marketed the boxes as keepsakes that could be used to store love letters and other mementos. Chocolate was soon associated with Valentine's Day because of its reputed aphrodisiac qualities and its popularity among the Victorians. Now, the symbolism of roses as a sign of love and passion also has a long history, dating back to ancient Greece and Rome, where the flower was sacred to Aphrodite and Venus, the goddess of love. Roses were also used in medieval courtly love songs and poems to praise the beauty of the ladies. The color and number of roses given on Valentine's Day have different meanings, such as red for love, pink for admiration, white for true love or purity, and yellow for friendship. Oh yes, Valentine's Day is celebrated differently around the world too, with some unique traditions and customs, I must say. For example, in Japan, it's customary for women to give chocolates to men on February 14th, and for men to return the favor on March 14th, known as White Day. And in Korea, there's also a third day, April 14th, called Black Day, when single people who did not receive any gifts on the previous 2 days gather to eat black noodles and lament their loneliness. Now, that's pretty sad, isn't it, to think about? But we're not going to dwell there, are we? No, it's Valentine's Day. Now, in Wales, people celebrate their love on January 25th, which is Saint Dwynwen Day, the patron saint of Welsh lovers. They exchange special wooden spoons with intricate carvings called love spoons that symbolize their affection. Now, for those of you that are listening that are in the military, some of my brothers and sisters in arms out there, like one of my dear friends who's stationed currently in Vilseck, Germany, as you travel around, you may find one. I know when I used to travel, I remember seeing those, and I believe I picked up a couple. Now, in South Africa, people wear their hearts on their sleeves. Literally. They pin the names of their crushes or partners on their shirts, following an ancient Roman festival called Lupercalia. And in Denmark and in Norway, people send each other funny poems or rhymes called Gekekbrev, if I pronounced that right, signed with dots instead of names. And if the recipient guesses the sender's identity, they get an Easter egg later in the year. Pretty cool, huh? And to my listeners in the Philippines, where my sister-in-law is from. In the Philippines, she tells me that thousands of couples gather in public places to get married or renew their vows in mass ceremonies sponsored by the government as a public service. And to my listeners over in Europe, in Estonia, they tell me that people celebrate friendship rather than romance on February 14th, which is called Sobraniec, if I pronounced that right. They exchange gifts and cards with their friends, family, and their co-workers. So you see, love and appreciation for each other is expressed in so many different ways on Valentine's Day. Let me know in the comments which of these different expressions of love and Valentine's Day you find most interesting, if you don't mind. And I want to thank you for listening, by the way, because, you know, as I talk about the topic of love, it's something that's really close to my heart. Brotherly love. That's where we're at now. What is brotherly love, and why is it important? How can we practice it in our daily lives? And more importantly, what are the benefits of living in harmony with one another? Imagine if everyone was your Valentine. Wouldn't that be cool? Brotherly love is the kind of love that we feel for our brothers and sisters in humanity. It's not based on blood ties, but on a common bond of respect, compassion, and kindness. It's the love that Jesus taught us all or those of us that follow Christianity, or that have at least heard of it, when he said, "A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another just as I have loved you. You also are to love one another." You can find that, if you're curious, in John 13:34. But let's go a little bit further. Brotherly love is important because it's the foundation of peace and happiness in the world. When we love one another, we're able to overcome our differences, forgive our faults, and cooperate for common good. We're able to see the image of God in every person and treat them as we would like to be treated. We're able to follow the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You can find that in Matthew 7:12. But the question still remains, right? How can we practice brotherly love in our daily lives? There are so many ways. But I would like to suggest just maybe 3 simple steps. First, we could practice brotherly love by being mindful of our words and actions. Words have the power to heal or hurt, to build or destroy, to encourage or discourage. We should always speak the truth in love and avoid gossip, slander, and harsh criticism. And we should also be careful of what we do and how we do it. We should act with honesty, integrity, and generosity. We should not harm or exploit anyone, but rather help and serve those in need. Second, we can practice brotherly love by just being empathetic and understanding, Because empathy is the ability to put ourselves in someone else's shoes and feel what they feel. Understanding is the ability to see someone else's perspective and appreciate their values and beliefs. You see, when you and I, are empathetic and understanding, we're able to relate to others better and avoid conflicts and misunderstandings. We're able to respect and accept others for just who they are without judging or imposing our views on them. And thirdly, we can practice brotherly love by being grateful. Grateful. Think about that. We can practice brotherly love by just being grateful and forgiving. You see, gratitude is the attitude of recognizing and appreciating the good things that we have and the good things that others do for us. And forgiveness is the attitude of letting go of resentment and anger towards those who have wronged us and wishing them well. And there's a few of you out there who have written in that are listening. I put that in there especially for you. Because when we are grateful and forgiving, we're able to cultivate a positive and peaceful mindset to avoid bitterness and hatred, of course. We're able to rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn. You can find that in Romans 12:15. But you might be asking a question right now in your mind. What are the benefits of living in harmony with one another? Oh, there are so many benefits. But I'll just mention just a couple of the main ones. First of all, living in harmony with one another makes us happier and healthier. Because studies have shown that people who have strong social bonds are more likely to be satisfied with their lives and less likely to suffer from stress, depression, and loneliness. They're also more likely to have better physical health, lower blood pressure, a stronger immune system, and a longer lifespan. And because, secondly, living in harmony with one another makes us smarter and more creative. Studies have also shown that people who collaborate with others are more likely to learn new skills, solve problems, and generate ideas. They're also more likely to be innovative, adaptable, and productive. And thirdly, living in harmony with one another makes us safer and more prosperous. Look around you. Don't you feel safe? Do you feel prosperous? Studies have shown that people who cooperate with others are more likely to avoid violence, crime, and war. They're also more likely to achieve economic growth, social justice, and, believe it or not, environmental sustainability. Yes, I said it. Now, brotherly love is a vital virtue that we all need to cultivate in ourselves and in others. It's not only a moral duty, everybody, but also a practical necessity. And it's not only a personal choice, but also a global challenge. It's not only a dream for the future, but also a reality for the present. So let us all strive in brotherly love. Let's strive to live in brotherly love every day of our lives. And while we're striving, let us remember the words of Martin Luther King Jr., who said, "We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools." And let us also remember the words of John Lennon, who sang, "All you need is love." Da, 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 right? I want to thank you for your attention. And may God bless you all. And have a happy, happy Valentine's Day. Now, I'm going to ramble on just a little bit longer because someone just sent me in a message. And as I pull it up, so I can see what they're exactly asking. Okay. All right. So someone is asking me, they're writing to me in from Belgium. And they're asking me, what do I say, think, or feel about teaching children about brotherly love? All right. Thank you very much for your question, and thank you for listening in Belgium. I'll not read anyone's name aloud on the show because, for privacy. Unless you say, read my name and my location, then I'll do that. But to answer your question, if I may attempt to humbly do so, teaching your children about brotherly love is a wonderful way to help them develop positive and healthy relationships with their siblings and just everybody around them. Brotherly love is the kind of love that, we feel for our brothers and sisters in humanity, like I said, regardless of their differences or their faults. It's the love that God commands us to have for one another. And I just read to you the commandment that Jesus said, "A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another just as I have loved you. You are also to love one another." John 13:34. But there's many ways to teach our children about brotherly love. And, so the first way you could do it is you can model brotherly love. The best way to teach your children anything is by example. Show them how you treat your spouse, your siblings, your friends, and even strangers with respect, kindness, and compassion. Let them see how you handle conflicts, disagreements, and misunderstandings with grace and forgiveness. Let them hear how you speak words of encouragement, appreciation, and affirmation to others. Your children will learn more from what you do than what you say. If you have more than one child, encourage good sibling relationships. Help all of your children to see the value and beauty of having siblings. Remind them that their brothers and sisters are gifts from God and that they should cherish and protect them. Teach them how to cooperate, share, and compromise with each other. Help them resolve their disputes peacefully, respectfully. And be sure to praise them when they show love and care for each other. That's very important. You can also plan fun activities that foster teamwork and bonding among you children, like games and crafts or even doing chores together. Whistle while you work. You know how that goes. But above all things, teach them the golden rule. One simple but powerful way to teach your children about brotherly love is to teach them the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And that's in Matthew 7:12. Explain to your children what this rule means and how it applies to different situations. Ask them to think about how they would feel if someone treated them in a certain way and how they should treat others accordingly. Help them practice this rule in their daily interactions with their siblings and everybody else. And of course, for those of you that believe, or even if you don't believe, use the Bible as a guide or your book of faith. But I'm going to speak about the Bible at this moment because that's the question. The Bible is full of stories, verses, and examples that illustrate brotherly love. You can use the Bible as a resource to teach your children about God's love for us and how we should love one another. You can read stories such as the parable of the Good Samaritan in Luke 10:25-37, the prodigal son, which is in the book of Luke, 15th chapter, verse 11-32, or Joseph and his brothers in Genesis 37-50. You can also memorize verses such as 1 Corinthians 13, verses 4-8, or 1 John chapter 4, verse 7-8, or even Romans 12, verse 9-21. You can also use the Bible as a tool to answer questions, correct mistakes, and encourage good behavior. Listen, I don't want to take up all of your Valentine's Day. So I hope that these little tips will help you teach your children about brotherly love also. I think it's a very important lesson that will benefit them their whole lives. Thank you for asking this question, and may God bless you and your family. And thank you for listening to Truth Talk, where we strive to gain peace and clarity between the mind, the body, and the spirit. I'm Lindsay, your certified clinical hypnotherapist. Signing off. Happy Valentine's Day. Oh, yes, and by the way, please leave a comment below and feel free to send in pictures of what you did on Valentine's Day. See you in the next episode.